Good morning to all the students. So, dear student, we have started our online classes for this epidemic. So now our school is closed. So first day, I am going to give you one class from political science. Political science. The lesson will be today Indian democracy. Indian democracy will be discussed. But before going to know about the democracy, we will have to know about the Indian history, how India got independence, when India became independent from the Britishers will be discussed first. So in the introduction, it is important to know on 15 August 1947, India became free from the Britishers. Before that one, from 1757 to 1947, near about 200 years, India was ruled by the British government. But on 15 August 1947, India became free from the Britishers after a long period struggle against the British government. When India became free from the Britishers, India became the largest democratic country in the world. But to be a democratic country, to run a democratic country, will be very important. It is very important to have a constitution. So India needed a constitution just after independence. The British government, which gave the India independence, that felt the necessity of the constitution. So constituent assembly was formed with the help of the British government. Now I am going to discuss about the importance of the constitution, why constitution is necessary for a democratic country. To be a democratic country, a constitution is very important, because without a constitution, a democratic country cannot run smoothly. Again, without democratic country, without democracy, a constitution is totally meaningless. In the monarchy, the king is the higher authority of the kingdom. He should not obey the constitution. Every sayings of the king will be the constitution for that kingdom. He should not obey any other constitution which will be made by the people of that monarchy. So today I am going to discuss about the constitution, how it was formed, how the Constituent Assembly was formed, who became the president of the Constituent Assembly. When India became free, in 1945, in England, the Labour Party formed the government, and Labour Party that was very sympathetic to the National Congress, to the freedom lover people of India, and that's why before election in their manifesto, it was clearly mentioned after winning the election, the Labour Party should give independence to India, and according to their manifesto, after the formation of their government in 1945, and the Prime Minister, he became from the Labour Party, became sympathetic to Indians and wanted to give freedom to India. And that is why he sent a cabinet mission to India to make a congenial environment in India to give independence. Before creating a proper environment for democratic country, it was very difficult to give independence to India. So cabinet mission was sent. Cabinet mission, dear students, perhaps you are getting trouble to understand what is cabinet mission. Cabinet mission, that was a group of cabinet ministers who came from England to negotiate with the Indian leaders to create congenial atmosphere in India. With their aim, they came to India and they discussed with the Indian leaders, and with their help, a constituent assembly was formed in India. The first meeting which was held to form the constituent assembly, that was presided over by Sosidananda Sinha, and that's why the first president of Indian Constituent Assembly is considered Sosidananda Sinha. Sosidananda Sinha is considered as the first president of the Constituent Assembly of India. And in that meeting, the same meeting, the elected president, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, he became the elected president of the Constituent Assembly. So if this question is given, this question is slightly difficult question for the students who was the first president of Indian Constituent Assembly. Then the answer will be Sosidananda Sinha. He was the first president of Constituent Assembly. Again, if the question is given who was the president or who was the permanent president, who was the elected president of Constituent Assembly, then there the answer will be Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was the elected president of the Constituent Assembly. With the help of that Constituent Assembly which was made only to form the constitution for the democratic country India, with the help of that Constituent Assembly, a drafting committee was formed with the 7 members from different sectors. They were the members were the experts in different sectors, and with those members, including 7 members, the drafting committee was formed. And the president of the drafting committee was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. B.R. Ambedkar, he became the president of the drafting committee, and that was the draft to draft the constitution for India. So again and again I am saying in front of you the constitution, but perhaps you are not understanding what is constitution. Constitution, again and again you should get in your book. Again in my class you are getting the same word constitution, but what is a constitution? It is very important to know. Constitution means it is a set of laws. Only laws are included there. Without rules and regulations, a family cannot run smoothly. To run the family smoothly, there must have some rules and regulations. The constitution is a set of law. They are having rules and regulations how the people of the country should live in this country and what will be their fundamental rights, what will be their duties, how the government should rule the people. All these are included in the constitution. If we consider the whole country as our own family, then it will be very easier for us to understand what is a constitution. So like our family, in our country they are having some rules and regulations, some laws, but those are in written form. The rules and regulations, the laws which are in written form, that is the constitution. That's why shortly it can be said a constitution is a set of laws. After 3 years long rigorous work, their hard work, the drafting committee formed the constitution for India. The constitution for India was made by the drafting committee, but that took almost 3 years to be completed. But in this period, dear students, you have got on 15 August 1947, our India became free. And our constitution that came to force on 26 January 1950. 26 January 1950, and that's why 26 January is observed as Republic Day. And 15 August, that is observed as Independence Day. This period, near about 300 years, from 1947 to 1950, this long period India was ruled according to the Government of India Act 1935. That was passed in the British Parliament in England, that was passed, and according to that act, the Government of India Act 1935, India was ruled in this long period from 1947 to 1950. when our constitution was not completed. The ideals of the constitution will be discussed. What type of constitution is given to India, the maker of the Indian constitution? They have given the constitution which is very idealist. What is mentioned in the constitution, that is India is a democratic republic. Here also having the secularism, socialist. So these some special words are included in the constitution, and all these words are so valuable. We should discuss in the preamble of the Indian constitution. The preamble will be discussed. The students, so I was discussing about the constitution, when, how it was formed. It was formed by the drafting committee, but the drafting committee was not the higher authority to approve the constitution. Their duty was to draft, only to make the draft of the Indian constitution, but after completing their draft, that was submitted to the president of the Constituent Assembly, who was Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Here having one puzzling for the students, the president of the drafting committee was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, but mainly the president of the Constituent Assembly was Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, his authority was to draft the constitution, but after drafting that one, the constitution was submitted to the president of the Constituent Assembly, who was Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and that was submitted to Dr. Rajendra Prasad on 26 November 1949. When that was submitted to Dr. Rajendra Prasad, that was approved and that was accepted as the constitution for India. From that period, India got the constitution, and on 26 January 1950, our constitution came to force. Our constitution having some special characteristics. Those are known as the ideals of the constitution. Some special words are included in our constitution. When India was independent, when it became independent from the Britishers, at the same time India was divided into two countries. One was India, another one became newly Pakistan. So at that time, the mentality of the Indian leaders was so emotional, and that's why, according to the situation, the ideals of the constitution became different. Though our country is a federal country, but it is not full federal country. So the characteristics of federal country, dear students, though it is not related, but in reference, it is also very important to know for you. So federation, in the federal country, the characteristics of federal country, they are having two types of government. Same way in our country also, they are having two types of government, central government and the state government. But in full federal country, they are having the separate constitution for each and every state. But in our country, separate constitution is not given for all the states. They are having only one constitution, that is the constitution for India, for whole country. Decentralization of power, though in this country they are having decentralization of power, but it is not like the full federal country USA. In our country, central government is more powerful than that of the state governments. In the federal country, they are having dual citizenship, but in our country, they are having only one citizenship, that is the citizenship of India. So this way, though our country was made federal country, but it was not full federal. So you should get in later on, our country's federal system is known by different names. So according to the situation, our constitution was made by the makers of the Indian constitution, first world. So if we want to know the ideals of the Indian constitution, we will have to go through the preamble of the constitution. It is the preface, it is the soul of the constitution. Each and everything about the constitution can be understood through this preamble of the constitution. Like that one, if we read the preface of a book, then we can know about the book. So what type of book that one? What may be in that book? If we read the first page of that book, then we can know about that whole book. So if we read the preamble of the constitution, then we will be able to know the ideals of the constitution. The first, before starting each and every word of the constitution, here one sentence is mentioned: we the people of India. The maker of the Indian constitution, they have used these valuable words, we the people of India, and with the help of this word they have clearly mentioned the constitution, it is for the Indian people, it is made by the Indian people, it will be for the welfare of the Indian people. And the higher authority, the actual authority of the Indian constitution is the Indian people. That's why here it is mentioned, we the people of India. It is a democratic republic because the power is handed in the hand of each and every people. The governments are made, but all are elected representatives who are elected by the common people. The power is handed in the common people, that is handed to some representatives. This type of government is in our country. And here again, about the constitution, in the preamble they are having some special words: sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. India is sovereign country. India is sovereign. Sovereignty means, do you know or not? Perhaps you do not know what is sovereign country. Sovereignty means our India is self-dependent, self-independent. In each and every decision can be taken by our government. It is not subordinate to any other country. It is not under any other pressure. Not other countries can pressurize our country from internal, again from outside. Our country is self-dependent and each and every decision can be taken by the government of India. It is the sovereignty, absolute power of the country. Another word is mentioned, socialist. Socialist, it is also very valuable word. Socialist, in the Indian society, the people must live equally and equal preference must be given to each and every person. Nobody can be deprived from their rights. This socialist, this word was incorporated in the constitution in the 42nd number amendment of the constitution, which took place in 1976. Secularism, perhaps you are getting trouble to understand the meaning. Again, I am going to discuss the secularism. What is secularism? Secularism means they are not having any religion for the state. Each and every religion are equally preferred by the government. The government cannot show their interest to any special religion. All religions are equal at the sight of the Indian constitution. It is the ideal of Indian constitution. Democratic, our country, it is a democratic country because the representatives of the people, they form the government, again they rule the people. The power which is handed in the common people, that is transferred, that is given to the representatives by the common people, again they form the government. The representatives of the common people form the government, again they rule the people. So today you are sitting in this classroom, but once in future you should become the MLAs, MPs, and you will form the government. You will be the representatives of the people, and then you will have to do something for the welfare of the common people. It is democratic. It is democracy. The authority, the power, the Prime Minister. So at present, who is the Prime Minister of India? Do you know it? Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister of India at present. But once he was a common people. He was a common man, but he was elected by the people as their representatives, and he has become the Prime Minister of India. Say in future in your life, perhaps you should become among you, one from you will become the Prime Minister of India. Again, another word, republic. Our country, it is not mentioned as the country. Here it is not said sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic country is not said here. Our country is said a republic. Why? Why our country is said a republic? Do you know, dear students? It is a republic because the head of this country is not heretical one. He is also elected by the people. Who is the head of this country? Do you know? Our president. The president of India is the head of the country. He is also elected by the common people. That's why this country is considered as a republic. It is not. It is a country, but in constitution it is not mentioned as the country. Republic means, perhaps you have understood. Justice, again, some special words are incorporated in the constitution, but all these will be discussed in the next class. So today it is the beginning class. So you attentively, very attentively, you see, you watch this class and you read your topic. If you get any trouble to understand, then you can consult with me over phone. So dear students, if you get any trouble to understand any part of the lesson, then you must call me. Okay, for today. Okay. Thank you.